jurisdiction. That's very important. And also, do we really control our IT infrastructure? That's also a big question. I mean, this is all very ambitious, of course, because tech was built on a global scale, but still we have to find ways how we can control our own technology more and more. It's getting more and more important, we think, and that's what we stand for. And last but not least, of course, also the integrity. If you have an e-commerce shop, can you, really, your clients, are they staying integer? Where does the client's data go? Who has this data, etc.? Or we can talk about it afterwards. The workspace. So if I work for a company, who knows who I am, what I do, what I work on, right? And these are all important questions we think that need to be addressed. And the best guarantee, of course, to be digital sovereign is always to actually have a very strong own industry. And that's, fortunately, we have that in Switzerland. We have very strong companies. There are over 1,000 companies within our network, the Swiss Made Software Network. And we have over 800 products that are registered there. So there is hardly any need, any digital need that cannot be fulfilled by a Swiss project, a Swiss or a digital sovereign piece of software. I mean, we are not orthodox about this. We just say, think about it. How important is it for your business that you actually can operate in a digital sovereign way? And so what we do, what is our strategy? Basically, of course, the most important is our labels, Swiss Made Software, Swiss Digital Services, and the Swiss hosting. But also we have a platform, the swissmadesoftware.org, where you find the companies and the products and their services. Then we do publications. So our next publication that is coming up is this Swiss Developer Survey. We will hear from that later by Jonas. And also we do events like these, right? So this is how you can engage. You can own a label. You can be a member of the platform. You can partner with our contents, and of course, be co-sponsors of our events. So it's about tech. That's what we do this evening. One of those events, one of those series. Thanks again for coming. And yeah, the title, Because Talent is Not Enough, this tomorrow's skill set in the tech world, right? So it's about, we want to have an open discussion about what is needed specifically here in Switzerland, but not only, and how we get there, what kind of educational programs we should set up, build up, also here in the region, and also about basically what companies can do to attract or keep talents, maybe even more important these days. So before we tap in, here is the agenda. We will have a slight change. So Felix Jonas will present at the end. So we will then start with Elisabeth Meyer from Karakun. And yes, then she will talk from a company's perspective. And then we will have Michael Pilz here. He will talk about the educational program, what they are doing with the Fachhochschule Nordwestschweiz. And then at the end, last but not least, we have Diego Adolf. He's from Qualist. So that's a very interesting, actually a software cooperative, how you can bring different talents, different people together in a rather, let's say, open form as an organization to offer that to the market. I thought that was quite interesting to hear more their perspectives on that. Thank you for joining us this evening. And then afterwards, we will have a panel discussion. So you keep your questions as we go, and then you keep them for the end, and then you can, everybody will have of course, the occasion to ask those questions. So this said, maybe some introductory words from my side. So I have this from Yuval Harari. So he once asked himself, if you were a rice plant to, let's say, 1200 in China, and someone would ask you, what will your kids do? Then most likely they would have said, well, plant rice, right? So the world has extremely changed, of course, since then. We hardly think about 2/3 of the professions that 30 years ago are not around anymore. So the whole, let's say, economy is moving very fast, and our workspace is changing constantly. So the future of work is really a topic in a more broader sense. That's just some thoughts or for the beginning. The second thing is this book here, Bullshit Jobs, from David Graeber, which is actually another trend. So a lot of jobs, if you ask people, does it make sense what you work? I think almost 50% of the people say, I don't really see the sense of it, right? So, and this was then also confirmed by studies. So he just asked people, your work, could you do it in 20 minutes, in 2 days, in 3 days? And they would say, yeah, basically what I have to do, I could do in one day. And he then published this book. And so the quintessence of this book was rather than, well, work is more than just doing something and being efficient doing it. It's important, but it's more. It has a broader meaning in society. And that's actually the quintessence of this book. So this is one thing I want to give on the way. And then the third thing is future of work is about longevity or aging. I mean, we have a growing aging population. And yeah, what will those people do the last 30 years of their life? A lot of people might want to continue to work in some form. Maybe we need a different kind of plan for education. Maybe they want to change work, etc., etc. So I think it's really also interesting to think about that, right? I think some of the boomer generations now going into retirement, some were of the first wave, let's say, of the IT professionals, what could they do in the future, right? Should they just play golf, or maybe they want to do more? How to integrate this workforce? Okay, so this said, we will have not Jonas now. We will have